Rambam, continuing in the book of Tahara, purity. Oops. Righty. Chapter 15 of Kalim, of vessels, implements that can become impure. So, as we've learned, an implement has to be a vessel, right? What defines it as such, that it is as such, right? All righty.
In chapter 15?
That's where we are. Exactement.
15? Okay.
Exactement. Okay, an earthenware container does not become susceptible to rich or impurity until the tasks necessary to finish it are completed. All right. So whatever it is to make an earthenware container. So when are the tasks necessary to finish it completed? Right. For earthenware, when they are fired in a kiln, right? An oven, when it is heated to bake donuts. It's got to be heated enough, the oven, that it can heat donuts, bake donuts rather. A range with two openings when it is heated so that a stirred egg can be baked over it on a frying pan. Right. So, of course, they didn't have back in the day what they had, but they didn't have a way to measure the heat. Well, I mean, as we do today, put the oven at 350 and so on. So it's giving the measurement based on, how hot it is to cook something, right? Or in the first instance, to bake a donut in an oven, and in a range, it has two openings that stirred eggs can be baked in a frying pan. A range that has one opening, if it was made for baking, the measure is the same as that of an oven. It was made for cooking, and the measure is the same as that of a range. All right. So in Hebrew the terms are a toner, a kira, and a kupach. Okay. When one has begun building an oven, if it is large, once one has begun building it for 4 handbreadths and heats it, it is susceptible to impurity. If it is small, once it has begun building it, right? We're talking about earthenware ovens over here, right? If it is small, once one has begun building it for a handbreadth and heats it, it becomes susceptible to impurity. I'm not clear what it means that you heat it. How is it not finished and you're already heating it up? I'm not clear on that. Like, how would you heat it up? Like, is it finished? So what's the difference of this? I guess, I don't know. Actually, I'm not clear. A range has 2 openings because susceptible to impurity. Once one has begun building it for 3 finger breadths and heats it. With regard to a range, with 1 opening, if it was made for baking, the measure is the same as that of an oven. If it is made for cooking, the same measure of that of a range. So, in other words, you didn't finish making it. That's the point over here. But and this is the minimal size that you'll be able to use it to heat. But if it's a minimal size, isn't that the final size? of it? How are you heating it if it's not a finished product? That's where I'm not catching.
Heating it is completion. I mean, it is a completed project, but once you heat it, that says it's finito.
Hmm?
It's an oven that's ready to use, but once you heat it, that means it's done. It's acceptable.
Yeah, but so what's the difference what the size is? I guess if it's a lesser size than that, then it's not considered, an oven or a range and so on. I guess that's the point. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Okay. When an oven was heated from behind, heated in a shop of a craftsman, or heated unintentionally, since it was nevertheless heated, susceptible to impurity. An incident occurred when a fire broke out in an oven in a village. The incident was brought before the court for a ruling, and it was determined it was susceptible to impurity as a result, right? Even though it was unintentional. Doesn't matter. Heat is heat. In other words, the point is, I think the heating of the oven, what it means is it firms up the oven.
That's what the oven's made of. Clay.
We're talking about earthenware, so it
Glass.
firms it up,
Bakes it.
right? It bakes it in, so to speak,
Uh-huh.
right? So that's what firms it up, and that's why. And it's just, I guess, what was the parameter here is what's the size? Has to be a minimum size, okay?
Gotcha.
Of each one. That's what's the idea. Number 4, when an oven was heated to roast food in it, it is susceptible to impurity. When it was heated to whiten bundles of flax, it is pure because he is not doing work that affects the substance of the oven.
Mhm. I mean, it's complete already.
No, it's pure, meaning it's not an implement yet. It's not an oven yet. Doesn't have the law of an oven, completed oven, right? And therefore, that's why it's pure.
Yep.
Meaning it's not susceptible to, at that point at least, right? Because he's doing work that affects the substance of the oven. Because he's doing it for the bundles of flax. He's not doing it to heat up the oven finish its process of making it.
Flax takes less temperature to bake than baking a kiln, maybe.
Is that what it says here? No, I think it's because he's not doing the work that affects the substance of the oven. Okay. Because he's saying doing the work. Change that
Comparing food to flax. Roast food, susceptible, flax, is pure. So in other words, the temperature.
Number 5. When an oven was divided into half and one of the portions was heated and then contracted impurity from liquids, that portion is impure, but the other portion remains pure because it was divided in half. If it contracted impurity from a carcass of a crawling animal or of a similar impurities of scriptural origin, everything is impure. The thickness of the partition separating them is impure. So if it was like through a liquid, right, then that's a lesser degree of impurity, right? An impure, let's say, piece of bread touched the oven, right? But if it was a carcass of an animal, so then that would render the entire oven impure.
Separation becomes impure.
Yeah. If they both heated and only one portion contracted impurity from liquids in the inner space, we divided the thickness of the partition. That which is used by the impure portion is impure, and that which is used for the pure portion is pure. When does the above apply? When it was divided and then heated. However, it was heated and then divided. If only one of them became impure, even only due to liquids, everything contracts impurity because of the division was only made later. Okay, I have to stop over here,
Huh?
fortunately, but
Full cup.
Shabbos.
all right. God bless
Thank
you
you.
all. God bless
Thank
you. Thank you.